Join me here in the OG setup, the original, way back when I first started this channel a couple years ago. This is where I made all my videos, was in this spot. And now furniture is a little different. We got swivel chairs now. But I want to make this video to address the whoa. What? I guess that's what happens when you use a rock to prop up your phone. I want to make this video to address the fact that I haven't made a video in a very, very long time. And for much of that, there's been several excuses, like, oh, I'm just trying to enjoy my life, I'm trying to, I'm just so busy, and some of that has merit, right? It's my last year of high school. I'm a senior, and I'm going to graduate this weekend, and I just finished my last exams yesterday. And yeah, I've been very busy, but I've also been very lazy, and that's the difference in what I'm talking about here. Is that I've realized that I've been in about a year-long rut. I have been incredibly complacent. I've lost so much of my old ambition that I've had, and a large part of that is simply because I'm very content. I'm very happy with the life I've built for myself and what I have. But the problem is that there's a difference between contentment and complacency. Because you can be content, you can be fulfilled, you can be happy. I've been fulfilled and happy, right? But I haven't been as fulfilled and happy as I'd like to be because I've become complacent. I've spoken before about small habits that I used to do and take so much pride in the fact that I used to do them that have been going away, right? That I've been ignoring, not really caring as much about. And there's also been the fact that a lot of the reason for that is because I just stopped caring. I just stopped having that ambition, that mission, that purpose of building myself up. I've lost so much of that, right? When I first started self-improvement, the reason I started self-improvement was for one reason and one reason only, to get a girlfriend. And I've gotten the most amazing girlfriend I could have ever wanted, right? She's amazing. And I'm so incredibly grateful that that has happened in my life. And what was my next mission? What was my next purpose? Well, my next mission was to, I've lost that. I've lost my way. And a while ago, I decided, well, my next mission should be building myself up to become a husband, should be building myself up to become a strong masculine man, a father, what's the next step of my life, right? And then I've lost sight of that because I became consumed with this overwhelming sense that no matter what I do, it's not going to be good enough. I become overwhelmed with all the things that I've had to do in my life. For a long time, my biggest goal, my mission, my drive was to get my pilot's license. That's what my entire mission was at the end of last year, right? Last year, 2025, that was my mission. That was my main goal, was to get my pilot's license. And I put so much into that I neglected everything else. I neglected this YouTube channel. I neglected good habits like cold showers, meditating, gratitude journaling, and I neglected a lot of that. I started consuming content more. I started to become more addicted to my phone, all of that. I became addicted to comfort. I became addicted to rewarding myself because I lost that drive that I had. And a lot of people watching this video might relate to this. You might be relating to this right now. And I realize I've become so overwhelmed with, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. Like today, I realized I forgot to turn in an assignment that is due, and the grades have to be in by tomorrow. So I have to get this assignment done. And I have a lot of things to do today. And I considered not making this video and just putting it off like I've been trying to do for so long. I've been wanting to make this video for about a month, right? I mean, it has been rough. And I realized that I just lost that desire. I just didn't really want to. And I asked myself why. Why do you just simply not care so much anymore? Why are you so overwhelmed with everything that you've been doing in your life? Why are you consumed by comfort? Why have you lost this drive, right? And so I decided this morning what I would do to try to fix this. And I went back to an old thing that I used to do well, not really that old of a thing, but whenever I'm overwhelmed with schoolwork or just anything in general, what I usually do is I make a list. I list out everything I want to do, everything that I'd have to do, everything that's overwhelming me. And I think about, okay, what needs to happen today? What needs to happen now? And what doesn't need to happen now? Because when you have all this stuff and you put all this stuff just in your mind that you can't even fully comprehend it, and when you're trying to do one task, you're consumed by the other one. You're just overwhelmed, right? You can't get anything done. You're just stuck. You can't even enjoy comfort because when you sit down and rest, you're just thinking about the next thing you need to do, and in fact, you haven't done all these other things, right? I have ADD. It's hard for me to focus, and it's hard for me to set my mind on a specific task and to actually get that task done. So I made a list. I listed out everything that I wanted to accomplish this summer, everything that I felt like was holding me back, everything, just laid it all out on a piece of paper. And I realized, looking at that piece of paper, that there wasn't actually that much overwhelming there. Sure, there's a lot of decisions that are going through my mind right now. There's a lot of things flying through. But I realized that the core thing that I needed to do to feel less overwhelmed, to feel more purposeful, and to get more of that old drive back, that old discipline that I had for so long and I've kind of lost, was to make a YouTube video. Like, I have realized, because for so long my mentality was, oh, well, I need to improve myself, right? I'm not locked in, I'm in this rut, so I can't make any YouTube videos because I can't give advice because I need advice, right? I can't give advice on finding mission and finding purpose as a young man. I can't do that because I don't have that. I realized that making videos is a self-improvement habit. That sitting down and doing this is a habit that gives me purpose, that gives me mission, that gives me fulfillment. The things that I've been lacking and have not, like, I've needed them. I've been lost without them because I wasn't making YouTube videos. It sounds so simple, so stupid, right? Like, making these videos actually helps me in so many ways. It sounds silly, but it isn't. I've realized, because think about it, right? Me sitting down and you sitting down doing whatever it is that you need to do, right? Just any small habit that gives you a sense of fulfillment that you've been putting off because you felt like you needed to do something else. And I know it's kind of a vague concept, like what are you talking about? But me sitting down and doing this task gives me the feeling of accomplishment, the fulfillment that I need. That gives me the drive and energy that I need to get other things into my life, and it's a feedback loop. So in your life, there might be a task that you have been putting off that you know is going to make you feel better by yourself. You know is going to give you that confidence, because a lot of it comes down to confidence. You know it's going to make it so you don't feel so overwhelmed, and you've just been putting off. And so what I recommend you to do, if you made this far in a video, because a lot of people do just click off after the first 30 seconds, is make a list of what is overwhelming you, right? Everything that's on your plate, Just lay it on there, right? Everything you can possibly be overwhelmed by, just put it on that plate. Put it on that piece of paper. And just pick one or two or three that you're going to focus on today. Not, oh, I'll focus on these tomorrow, or I'll focus on them next week, or I'll focus on them for this month. And no, don't think about long term, because humans are terrible at thinking about things long term. Think about today. Think about now. Don't even think about today. Think about this moment, this hour. What you're going to do right now. Pick one of those things and just focus on it now. Maybe it's something that you're struggling to process, like a hard loss that's happened in your life. Like today, like yesterday, I've applied for a job a while ago, and yesterday I was told that, yeah, I'm not going to get that position. And it's a job I would really love to have. It's something that I really was looking forward to getting. Something that sounded really fun to me, and I don't have that job. I've lost it. That's hard. That's you know. And so you put down that piece of paper, and you just sit there in a moment and process it. Process why you're feeling the way you're feeling, right? Articulate your emotions. Just do that for a little while. That's all it's going to take to get that ball rolling. All it's going to take to get that feedback loop going. Because now you've processed this thing that's been nagging at your head and you haven't even really realized it. And now that's going to allow you to put you more effort, more of a calm approach other situations in your life with more of a calm mind into other aspects of your life. And that's going to help with this, and that's going to help with that. And it's going to be a feedback loop. And next thing you know, it may take months or even years, you might be in a much better headspace. All because you put down what you need to do on a piece of paper and picked one thing to do today. And tomorrow, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pick one thing that you're going to do that's on your plate to do today. Sometimes that's all it takes. That's all I've got for today. God bless you, and stay wild.